See, Ms. Bridgewater, good afternoon. When is the SAP reset date?
December the 5th.
December 5th. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Good afternoon, Judge Morrow.
Good afternoon, Francois. Hope you're doing well this afternoon.
Thank you. Hope you are too.
Yes, thank you.
We're going to be starting with position 20,
Okay, I'm sorry, tell me one more time.
position 26.
26.
Zakiana.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Acriana. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 23 CR 007157F with battery family violence. Is there a history? Who do we have on for pre, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 4 cycles. Last arrest, February of this year for theft by shoplifting, 2 theft by shoplifting convictions, 2016, 2023. If released on pretrial, the recommendation is level 1 and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Dunlap, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge Morrow. So this incident stems from, it looks like yesterday, so the defendant and her uncle, the victim, Daryl Robertson, got into a physical altercation. Mr. Robertson stated while he was arguing with her that his nephew, Malik Ruth, and Zakaria Ruth, the defendant, intervened and struck him in the mouth. The responding officer stated that Mr. Robertson sustained a busted lip from the incident. The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial, no further contact with the victim and Daryl Robertson, 48 hours anger management, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Good afternoon, Mr. Trejo.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'll be representing Miss Ruth today. We have no objection to a signature bond, Your Honor. However, we would ask that the no contact provision be changed to a no further violent contact, given the fact that my client does reside with her uncle. She indicated that having housing, if she were to be given a stay away order, would be very difficult. She has a 3-year-old child, and there is no history of violence, no history of any other incidents between her and her uncle. So that would be the only other thing that we would ask for from the court at this time.
Okay, let me see if is Mr. Daryl Robertson on the line with us this afternoon? Is that Mr. Robertson here on the iPhone? You'll have to if this is Mr. Robertson, you have to unmute yourself for me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Yes, sir. What would you like to tell me about this matter?
Well, there was an altercation last night or early this morning, a little after midnight, and I got into an argument with her brother, who also lives here, and she joined in and she struck me. I have bruises on my face and a busted lip. I'd rather her not come back here. She can come here and get her child and her belongings, but I don't want to have any contact with her. This has been an ongoing case. I've been trying to evict. I already evicted one niece. I'm trying to evict her brother, her and her grandmother, because I can't take this. It's going to escalate even more, and I don't want to live like this. I'm just asking that, please. I don't want any contact with her. I do not want her back here.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. I appreciate you being here this afternoon. Mr. Trejo, with that said, and this is Mr. Robertson's place of residence, I'm going to have Ms. Zakir Rian not go back, not have any further contact with Mr. Robertson, and not go back to the incident location. She can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she might have there. It's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness, no further contact. the one-time escort, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you all.
Thank you.
Position 21, Nully. No.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nunley. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Nunley, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007147D with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 3 cycles. Last arrest was from September of 2021 for aggravated assault. That is an open case out of Fulton County. 1 conviction from 2020 for driving while license suspended or revoked. Level 3 recommendation and nothing further.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 370 Northside Drive, where they spoke to the victim, Tychius, Tychius Mathis, who advised that the defendant came home after being out all night drinking. Some type of physical altercation occurred where the defendant assaulted the victim. The officer did observe blood coming from the victim's face and lacerations. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim. I believe there's 2 victims, the one I mentioned earlier, and there's also a Letitia Medlock, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And I would sound for Tychius Mathis and Letitia Medlock.
If Mr. Mathis or Ms. Madlock are on the line and wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Your Honor, Mr. Mathis is position 18 on this calendar.
Okay,
Oh, this was a dual arrest?
Correct, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
Okay, thank you. And who's representing Mr. Nunley?
I believe he's one that we flagged for conflict counsel, Your Honor. I'm not sure.
Good morning, Judge. I think
there
I
we go.
saw an email that Ms. McLeod was going to have that case.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bartels. So,
I don't know if she's here yet.
okay, so we will have to, Mr. Nunley, I'm gonna have to hold until your counsel is present with us. Let's see, can we, since I've already heard most of it, can we do Mathis?
Yeah, he's on the way.
Okay, and that's yours, Mr. Trejo?
That's right, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mathis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mathis, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007153D with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
6 cycles. Last arrest January of 21 for act assault. Open case out of Fulton County. 2015 hit and run conviction, 2004 simple battery, level 3 recommendation, nothing further.
Yes, Ms. Dunlap.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Walker stated 3 facts. Both defendants sustained injuries to the face and neck. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial, a stay away from 370 Northside Drive, no further contact with the co-defendant Alexander Newley and the additional roommate, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
Yes, Mr. Trejo.
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objection to a signature bond. We would object to the stay away order from that address. That is my client's primary home. We would also object to the no further contact with the other roommate. My client is not alleged to have committed any crimes against that other roommate, just the allegations with the cross defendant, who is position 21. That's Mr. Nunley. And my client is the victim in Mr. Nunley's case.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Mr. Nunley, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Mathis. He has his hand up, Mr. Trejo. Would you like to address your client?
Yes, Mr. Mathis, please be aware that you are on the record. Anything you say does become part of the record and can be used against you in a future, in this case, in the future. So if you have any questions, we can come and we can answer them for you. But unless it relates to your bond, I would caution you with whatever it is you're about to say, sir.
Can you explain that to me? Because I understand, but I don't understand about the bond.
Okay, yeah, I'll have Mr. Trejo explain it to you after court this afternoon. I've given you a signature bond, which means you'll be able to sign yourself out.
Okay.
And he will be able to explain the rest of it as far as the conditions and things of that nature, sir.
No, we don't need to.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome.
Your Honor, how you doing?
Yes, good afternoon.
Quick question for Mr. Walker. I see that we have Terrell Gaskin on the calendar. Are we going to bring him to court, Mr. N? That way I can go get him, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah, and I need to interview him as well, please.
All right, so he wasn't accepted to PAD.
No.
I will let Mr. Walker explain that to you.
No, that's correct. I mean, once you
All right.
decline, you decline. We don't go back and forth. So no, he's not accepted to PAD. So he'll need to be brought.
Okay, I'll go bring him.
Thank you. There's
Position 22, Patrick. Where's Patrick?
Good afternoon, Mr. Patrick. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 23 CR 007145J with simple assault, family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
6 cycles. Last arrest was 2020 for a DUI. That case was dismissed. 2014 conviction for improper backing. Level 2 recommendation, nothing further.
Mr. Walker? Oh, Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this officers were called to a domestic dispute at 709, it looks Caspian Street Southwest. They met with the victim, who's the defendant's sister, Cecilia Glanton, who stated her brother had beat her up. She stated he struck her in the head and pushed her. The defendant's mother, a Santrice Glanton, stated that both the defendant and Ms. Glanton were fighting each other. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial, a stay away from 709 Caspian Street Southwest, no further contact with the victim, a Cecilia Glanton, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
Ms. Glanton is present and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Does not appear so, Ms. Dunlap. Mr. Trejo?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection to the conditions of the bond or the signature bond. Our only objection would be if we would request that it be no further violent contact. My client has indicated that he and his sister do have an ongoing relationship. They haven't had any issues since this incident, and there's no history between them prior to that. So that would be our only requested change.
Okay. And I'll just note that this incident allegedly occurred back in March of last year. As such, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Glanton, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you.
Position 23, Pollard.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pollard. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Pollard, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007148E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
17 cycles, 2 out of Texas, 15 out of Delaware. Last arrest, November 2018, out of Delaware for failure to have insurance in possession of marijuana. 2017 conviction for assault out of Texas. 2007 conviction out of Delaware for possession of marijuana, and then a 2007 conviction for assault and possession of a firearm out of Delaware. Level 2 recommendation, nothing further.
Ms.
brief-
Dunlap,
Thank you, Your Honor. Brief facts of the case. This incident happened yesterday at 3670 Hansberry Drive. Officers responded to a battery incident. They spoke to the victim and Amaya Pollard, defendant's daughter. She stated that her and the defendant got into a verbal dispute regarding missing money. As she attempted to leave, the defendant followed behind her, grabbed her wrist, and slapped her across the face with an open hand. Defendant stated to police he was missing money, and when questioned about his daughter, he said she became disrespectful, so he hit her. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial. I believe this is his home address, so no stay away necessary, no further contact with the victim and Amaya Pollard, 1 day anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. Our victim advocate did get a chance to talk to the daughter. She stated she has left the residence and went back to Delaware. She stated that she does fear the defendant a little bit, and she doesn't wish to have any contact. We can sound for her. She said she was not going to be on Zoom, but we can still sound for her.
if Ms. Pollard is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Trejo?
No objection, Your Honor. As the state mentioned, the alleged victim has returned to Delaware. My client does reside at that address. So no further contact won't be an issue, and we appreciate the state not including a stay away order from the address.
It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 1 day anger awareness, no further contact with Amaya Pollard, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Pollard.
I'm sorry, Judge, I was on the phone. Somebody had called.
Okay, it's a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial.
Signature bond through pretrial. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have happy holidays.
You also.
Position 24.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Ramcharan. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 0071468 with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
No, first arrest, recommended UJR jail.
Yes, Ms. Dunlap.
This incident stems from the 17th of November at 1020 Meadow Glen Circle. The officers responded to call with battery, saying that the defendant hit his son, the victim, multiple times in the face with his fist. Victim sustained injuries to the hands, cheek, nose, and there was blood present on the victim when officers arrived. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial, a stay away from 1020 Meadow Glen Drive, no further contact with the victim, his son, Elshar Ramachan. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. 1 day anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. This victim advocate did speak to his son, and he stated he finished his he's saying that it was an incident involving his brother, but still we don't consider this enough cooling period. It's just happened 3 days ago. That's all, Your Honor.
How old maybe Mr. Trejo will tell me. Mr. Trejo, how old is the son?
Your Honor, I believe the son is 28 years old.
Okay, he's an adult. Okay, I didn't. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. No objection to a signature bond through jail. We would object to a stay away order, as the home where the incident occurred does belong to my client. He owns the property outright. He's already paid off his mortgage. Your Honor, we would also object to a no further contact with the son. Understanding that, well, first and foremost, Your Honor, both of his sons do live with him. His other son was also charged in this case. The son who's the alleged victim in the case, Your Honor, according to my client, recently, without getting too deep into the facts of the case, has been struggling from mental health issues. My client indicated that this was a self-harm situation, that he and his older son were intervening to try and help him. The alleged victim is somebody who they have been assisting him get psychiatric care, and we believe that that's sort of the incident events that gave rise to this charge. We don't, given that my client has no prior arrests and no history to speak of, we don't believe that no further contact is appropriate in this case.
Okay, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail, no further violent contact with his son, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Position 19, Mosley.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mosley. I'm Judge Eric Mora. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Mosley, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007144D with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 56 cycles, 51 out of Georgia, 4 out of Florida, 1 out of Alabama. Last arrest December of 2022 out of Douglas County for simple battery, family violence, and willful obstruction. A 2022 conviction for willful obstruction, simple battery against police officer, battery, and theft by taking. 2018 fraud conviction out of Florida. Criminal trespass convictions, 2013, 2006. Forgery conviction, 2012. 3 FTAs, 2018, 2015, 2007. Willful obstruction conviction, 2006. Burglary and criminal damage convictions in 2007. And then a willful obstruction, simple battery, theft by shoplifting, and terroristic threats, 2007. Level 2 recommendation. Nothing further.
Stella?
This incident stems from the 28th of July at 814 Rosrow Creek Lane. Officers were dispatched regarding an assault. They spoke to the victim, Jeff Bojard, Bajard. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. When officers arrived, he was holding a piece of paper to his head covering a leaking wound. He was leaking blood. Officers stated that the wound was the size of a golf ball knot. And he also had a cut to the side of his neck. It stated that the defendant hit him in the head with a glass bottle as he was walking away. The victim was at the location to pick up his girlfriend and got into a verbal altercation with the defendant. And as he turned around, the defendant hit him in the head. The defendant's daughter confirmed the events as a witness to the police. The state is asking for a $10,000 surety bond, a stay away from 814 Roswell Creek Lane, no further contact with the victim, Jeff, Bajard, 1 day anger awareness, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
Mr. Bajard is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Trejo?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask for no more than a $2,000 surety bond. My client has no relationship with the alleged victim, so the stay away order and risk of reoffending or getting into another altercation with the alleged victim is minimal. Your Honor, my client works 2 jobs. He was working part-time for about 3 weeks at the Blue Rose Bistro, and as recently as last week, taken on a second position. He's earning about $250 a week. And between that and some of his other obligations, Your Honor, our concern is that a $10,000 surety bond is something that he simply would not be able to make at this time. Prior to his arrest, Your Honor, my client was working through a transitional home, a group by the name of Vision 21 Concepts, to help him get back on his feet and get gainfully employed. His entire family's in Atlanta. He's lived in Atlanta his entire life. And once again, Your Honor, we don't believe a stay away order would be an issue. We don't believe he would be a danger to the community or to any of the other parties in this case.
It'll be a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Mr. Bajard, stay away from the Roswell Creek address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Mosley.
That was a good bond, Judge.
That's correct, yes.
Position 20, Mims.
Good afternoon, Mr. NIMS, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Hello, yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. NIMS, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007163G with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 12 cycles. Last arrest was November 13th for a forgery. That case appears to be open. Appears to be on pretrial for an open case, 23 CP 222698, possession of cocaine, willful obstruction, possession of marijuana, and possession and use of drug-related objects. We're going to surrender that bond. It's currently on probation for theft by taking and simple battery, 23 CR 001758F from March of this year, 12 months probation. Then the second probation is simple battery, 23 CR 000415F. Same disposition date, 12 months, and nothing further.
Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is yours.
Yes,
Oh, you
I thought it was mine. I'll take it. 1 second. This is Stanley Mims, correct?
correct.
Yes.
Okay, yes. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3273 Sim Street, where they spoke to the victim, Jessica Givens. She advised that her boyfriend, the defendant, and her were engaged in a verbal altercation. He punched her in the chest and also elbowed her in the mouth, causing a contusion on her tongue. She asked him to leave. He refused, at which time she called 911. At that time, he did leave the scene. The state is asking for a $2,500 surety, a stay away from 3273 Sim Street, no further contact with Jessica Givens, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
Yes. Let's see if Miss Jessica Givens is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Yes, Mr. Trejo.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to any of the conditions of the bond. We would ask for a no more than $1,000 surety bond. My client is not employed, and our concern is his ability to make a bond. He indicated that he may be able to afford about $100 out of his own pocket. He's lived in Atlanta for most of his adult life. He has extended family here, and completed 2 years of college here in Atlanta. He did graduate high school. Even though he's not employed, Your Honor, he did indicate that he is a musician and a keyboard player at Gilead Church down in Hateville, and he's there about 3 days a week, playing music and volunteering at the parish. So so to reiterate, Your Honor, we have no objection to any of the conditions. We would just ask that the bond be no more than $1,000.
And Your Honor, to clarify those previous battery and simple battery convictions, I failed to mention that they were with the same victim.
Okay. It'll be $1,000 good bond, no further contact with Jessica Givens, stay away from the Sim Street address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Nims.
Going back to position 21, Nunley.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod. This is your case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we have did not realize that you were representing Mr. Nunley. We've already done the co-defendant case. I've already gotten his history in the matter. If you would like for me to go back over any of that, I'll be happy to do so.
Yes, Your Honor, the history.
Okay, I've got a 2021 open aggravated assault case. That was the only major history that I noted. Was there anything else, Ms. Roberts?
No.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, as I stated, law enforcement was dispatched at 370 Northside Drive. Essentially, this was a fight between the two roommates. The state in this case is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no contact with Tyshius Mathis and Lestacia Medlock, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Roberts, I'm sorry, what was the recommendation?
Level 3.
Okay. Yes, Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask for a signature bond for my client. I understand that both of them were arrested. It's a dual arrest. They are in a relationship, Your Honor, and have been in a relationship for more than 2 years, based on what my client tells me. His preference would be no violent contact, Your Honor, and my understanding is was the preference of the cross defendant as well, but I was not here to hear what was said then.
Okay, he was given a no further contact, Ms. McLeod. And I was informed that the Northside Drive residence was Mr. Mathis's residence. As such, I did not restrict him from his residence.
Oh, Your Honor, what my understanding was that the lease was in both their names. That was what my client told me.
Okay, well, there's going to be a no further contact, so one of them is not going to be able to go to that location. I've already ordered a no further contact for on behalf of Mr. Mathis to Mr. Nunley. So someone's going to have to find a different place to go. So at this point in time, your client will I'll have him have a one-time escort to retrieve any belongings, but he'll have to find somewhere else to go during the pendency of this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so it will be a $3,000, and I'll give him the same bond as what I gave to Mr. Mathis. Yes, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond for the pretrial level 3, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Mr. Mathis or Miss Medlock, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. I will give him a one-time escort to the Northside Drive address to retrieve any belongings that he might have there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Position 5, Cloud.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cloud. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Cloud, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007154C with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
No, first arrest, recommended UJR jail.
Mr. Walker?
1 second. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 250 10th Street, where they spoke to the victim, Daphne Mack. She advised that her and the defendant were engaged in a verbal altercation. The defendant was allegedly under the influence of alcohol, at which time he did punch her with a closed fist, causing her to fall to the ground. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from 250 10th Street, no further contact with the victim, Daphne Mack, an anger awareness program, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and of course, I was out for the victim, Daphne Mack.
Ms. Mack is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so.
250 10th Street is his apartment. It is not mine. So that is not.
Okay, hold on, Ms. Mack. Before you start talking, I need for you to activate your camera for me. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now raise your right hand if you'd like to address the court. I believe it's the other hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
250 10th Street is his apartment. It is not mine. He doesn't need a stay away order from there.
Okay. And you would like no further contact with him, is my understanding?
Yes.
All right. Anything further, ma'am?
No.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you being here this afternoon. Yes, Miss Abden.
Thank you,
Good
Your Honor.
afternoon.
My client is 28 years old. He's lived in Georgia for the past 2 years. He did move here for work. He has friends here in Georgia and strong ties to the community. He graduated from high school and has his bachelor's degree. He's also gainfully employed at ADP. He's a relationship manager. He's been there working there for the past 3 months. Given that it's his first arrest, the complaining witness does not reside with him. I'm requesting that he is able to return to his home, and that that signature bond be through the jail, given that that was the recommendation. He does not have a criminal history, so there's low risk of reoffending.
Okay, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Miss Mack, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Cloud. You
Thank you,
also,
sir.
Ms. Mack. You're welcome.
Position 9, Guzman.
Guzman.
Good afternoon, Mr. Guzman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sure.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 007156C with possession of marijuana less than an ounce, possession and use of drug-related objects, and expired or no driver's license. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 5 cycles, last arrest November of 2022 for false report of a crime. That's an open case 22 CR 007515C. And then a 2016 conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, level 2 recommendation, nothing further.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement received a call pertaining to 3 males sitting in a car smoking marijuana. Upon making contact with the vehicle, it was determined that the license plates, that the driver's license was expired. Marijuana was discovered along with marijuana-related objects. The state is asking for a signature bond through the jail, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and no driving without a valid license.
Any objection to any of that, Mr. Bartels?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail on each count, which makes it a total of a $1,500 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and no driving without a valid license. Good luck to you, Mr. Guzman.
Thank you, Judge, and thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Walker.
Position 3, Barlow. Hold on.
Well, no. Well,
I have his cards with his, hold on. I'm sorry, Judge, did you hear me? Judge
I did
Morrow?
not.
Oh, position 3, Barlow.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Barlow. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sure.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 007143A with transmitting a false public alarm and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
15 cycles, last arrest July of this year for criminal trespass. He has an open case for possession of meth and theft by taking, 21 SC 179410. That is a pretrial bond, so we're going to surrender that bond. He has a theft by taking conviction in 2019, a fraud conviction in 2019 out of Florida, a drug possession conviction in 2020 out of Florida, and then an improper language conviction in 2014 out of Louisiana. FTAs 2023, and then 2018 Florida, and level 3 recommendation, and nothing further.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 625 Piedmont Avenue, which is the Harper at Piedmont Apartments. It is alleged that the defendant entered into that location and pulled the firearm multiple times, causing the residents to have to evacuate that location. The state is seeking a signature bond through the jail. Stay away from 625 Piedmont, which is the Harper at Piedmont Apartments. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Any objection to any of that, Ms. Abden?
No objection to the signature bond through the jail, Your Honor.
Okay, so for each charge, it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from 625 Piedmont Avenue. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Barlow.
Thank you.
Judge, he had, I'm looking at a third charge, failure to appear for Is that old, that's an old charge or?
That has to be handled on the state all-purpose calendar if he has
Yeah,
a
he told me
FTA.
that that would be handled later, so he needs to wait for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Could we have next?
Position 2, Banks.
And
We're
Your
gonna need
Honor,
a
I will-
breakout room for
Yeah.
Mr. Banks, is my understanding. So would you all like to do him last, Francois?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Position 18, Abdul.
And Your Honor, before we start, with this one, his mom is supposed to be on the line. He's 17. I just want to make sure that she's on here. She said she was in the waiting room earlier.
Okay, and this is Jameer. What, I'm sorry, what position is this?
1.
Position number 1? Okay, and what's his mother's name, Ms. Abden?
Oh, I think I hear her. Her last name was Thornton, Your Honor.
Right, and this is this Ms. Thornton that's on with us? Okay, I see you waving there. Okay, thank you, ma'am. And let's see. Good afternoon, Mr. Abdul. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Unmute for me, courtroom 2.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 007152G with possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under 18 years of age. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
No. First arrest recommended level 1 with the cosigner.
Okay, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Sean, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 1758 South Alvarado Terrace, Southwest, due to a suspicious vehicle being in the driveway. Upon making contact with that vehicle, the defendant, along with the 15-year-old passenger, was inside. A handgun that was reported stolen was also recovered from the vehicle. The 15-year-old passenger was a 15-year-old female. They actually were in her mother's car, which was reported stolen earlier that day. The state is asking for a $10,000 surety bond, stay away from the incident location. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Nothing further at this time.
Ms. Abden.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 17 years old. He was born in Georgia, has lived here in Georgia his whole life, so he does have strong ties to the community. He's 17 years old, Your Honor. He does not work. He would not, neither he or his mother would be able to make that $10,000 bond, and I believe no bond at all. So setting a bond for him today would mean that he would remain in jail. He is It's my understanding that he was recently in a group home, Your Honor. He's been back with his mom for the past 2 months, so he needs to get re-enrolled in school. So they're currently working on that. The school had asked for some additional information. Given that he has no criminal history, he does also deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, would not object to no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and a no further contact and stay away. I am requesting a signature bond through the jail if Your Honor is inclined, and if not, a pretrial level 1, as that was the recommendation. And his mom is on the line and would be available to be the co-signer.
Okay, Ms. Thornton, can you hear me? Okay, well, I'm gonna need to talk to you, Ms. Thornton. So can you unmute yourself so you can talk to me?
You hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Thank you, Ms. Thornton. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, tell me your full name, ma'am.
Titania Thornton.
Can you spell that for me, the first name?
Tytanyal.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Thornton. And Jameer is your son,
Yes, sir.
and he's living with you at the present time?
Yes, sir.
And you want him back in the home?
Yes, sir.
Is it, what else would you like to tell me?
He just needs to stay out of the streets.
Okay. Has that been a problem?
Somewhat, yes, but I just need help. I don't know what it is. You know, these kids, they growing up too fast, and I'm doing my damage. So hopefully this right here sit them down.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And you're trying to get him enrolled back in high school?
Yes, sir. We just got to, we got to take the shot records back up there and his stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna allow him to go, for you to get him, but I'm gonna order that he's to get and stay in school, okay? And I'm also gonna give him a curfew, okay? So it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. He's to continue to try to get enrolled in high school. He is to have a curfew. He has to be in by 9 p.m. and he cannot leave until 6 a.m. So he's got to be in at 9 and not leave until 6 a.m. in the morning, hopefully to get to school. No drugs, alcohol, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Let's see. You're gonna have to sign him. You're gonna have to sign him out, Miss Thornton. Okay.
Okay, that's the earliest time we could get him to be in?
You want him in earlier than 9?
Yes, sir.
What time would you like to have?
I
know.
By 6 o'clock.
Okay, why don't we compromise on 7 p.m.? How about that?
Okay.
All right, so he's to be in by 7 and he can't leave until 6 in the morning, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Jameer, you heard that, so you know that, you know, if you don't abide by that curfew, then this bond is going to be revoked and you're going to be back where you are. So I want you to get back enrolled in high school, and we will so I'm going to let you bond out through your mom, okay?
Sir.
All right, good luck to you all.
Your Honor, can the mother put her name in the chat so I can get the correct spelling, please?
I can send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Okay.
And does pretrial need her phone number?
No.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck to you all.
Position 12, Holt.
What do I do next?
Morning, Judge. I'm here on Mr. Holt.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Springer. Let's see. Yes, good. And this is is this Mr. Holt here?
Mr. Holt, raise your hand.
It is position 12, Holt.
Oh, okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Holt. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Holt, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007158C with fleeing or attempted to elude a police officer, driving, charge of speeding, and reckless driving. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
4 cycles, last arrest December of 2022 out of Douglas County for purchase, possession, manufacture, distribution, or sale of marijuana, possession of a firearm, and possession and use of drug-related objects. That case appears to be open. And then a September of 2022 arrest out of Douglas County for purchase, possession, manufacture, distribution, or sale of marijuana also appears to be open. Level 2 recommendation, and nothing further.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement made contact with the defendant because he was speeding, doing 108 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. He did not initially make a stop when the officer got behind him. He ran several stop signs before he came to a complete stop. The state is seeking a $500 surety bond on each count. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. Springer?
Your Honor, I'd ask you to consider a signature bond. As you heard from pretrial, he does not have any convictions. He does have that marijuana case out of Douglas County with the firearm. I will say, Judge, I've looked into that case. It involves less than 20 grams of marijuana, and then a firearm being in the vicinity. So he was charged with intent, but I don't believe there was any intent there, and it was the mere presence of the firearm. There's no allegation of any violent contact. Conduct or any other history. My client went to a high school in Douglas County. His whole family lives here in the metro Atlanta area, and he works full time. Again, no convictions, and these are traffic offenses. I'd ask Your Honor to consider a $1,500 signature bond.
Okay, it will be a $500 signature bond on each count, makes for a total of a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you,
Good
Your
luck to
Honor.
you. You're welcome, Mr. Springer.
Position
Thank you,
six,
Your Honor.
position 16, Lisbon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Lisbon. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 007161E with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
6 cycles, last arrest April of this year out of Cobb County for a probation violation. Appears to be on probation for possession or transport of a firearm by a convicted felon or felony first offender. That is from 2022, 4 years, 9 months probation. Also appears to be on probation for unlawful for person employed or associated with criminal street gang to conduct or participate in criminal activity. That is from 2014. It was a 10-year sentence. A open theft by taking case, 22 CP 212658. And then a 2018 conviction for purchase, possession, manufacture, distribution, or sale of marijuana and possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. Level 2 recommendation, nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 949 Washington Street, where they spoke with the victim, Shamira Pass, who advised that the defendant and the victim were engaged in a verbal altercation when the defendant pushed the victim several times. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the instant location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. It was down for the victim, Ms. Shamira Pass.
If Ms. Pass is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Any objections to any of what the state is seeking, Mr. Bartels?
No, Your Honor, we would not object to that. I am advised that he and Ms. Pass have been in the process of breaking up. A no further contact order would not be an issue, and he indicates that he will be staying with his brother for the time being. So we would just ask the court for that.
All right. Does he need to go back to that Washington Street address to retrieve any belongings or not?
I believe he would, Your Honor. We would just ask for him to have the option of a one-time return with law enforcement.
Okay. As such, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Pass, stay away from the Washington Street address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, Mr. Lisbon.
Position 13, Jackson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jackson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007160Y with loitering and prowling. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
No, first arrest, recommended level 1 with the parental cosigner.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case,
Yes.
law enforcement was dispatched to 3450 Forest Park Road due to the defendant leaking in vehicles. The defendant was arrested at that location and charged with loitering. The state is seeking a signature bond through pretrial services. Let's stay away from that instant location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. Bartels?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We also would request a signature bond. As has been indicated, Mr. Jackson does not have a criminal history. I am advised that he lives with his aunt, Ms. Woodard, Deanna Woodard. Is she here by any chance?
I'm present.
Ms. Woodard. Okay, great. I was asking about that because if he gets a signature bond, he may need an adult co-signer because of his age.
How old is he, Mr. Bartels?
He's 17, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Woodard, are you willing to sign to, I guess, is this your nephew?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and does he live with you at the present time?
Yes, sir.
And are you willing to sign and take responsibility of Mr. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me your full. Can you spell your name for me, ma'am?
My name is Deanna Woodard. Is Deanna Woodard, Woodard.
Okay, and is he in high school?
Yes, sir.
What grade is he in?
Master Jackson is in 11th grade.
Okay.
Can I ask the court to get him early curfew?
You certainly can. How early?
You need to be in that house at 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna release him to you, ma'am. It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. He's to stay in high school. He's to have a curfew from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Walker, I'm sorry, was there a stay away from this Forest Park Road address?
Yes, it is 3450 Forest Park Road, and I looked it up. It is Columbia South River Gardens Apartments.
Okay, and he's to stay away from, and I take it that's not where you live, ma'am.
No, sir.
Okay, all right, so he's to stay away from that Forest Park Road, those apartments. Okay, so Mr. Jackson, I'm going to release you to your aunt, but if you violate any of the terms of these any of the conditions of this bond, you're going to be right back where you are. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Question. What time
Yes,
are they
ma'am.
releasing him?
I'm not sure what time, Mr. Bartels, would you mind speaking with her in that regard? It won't be until later this evening at the earliest, but I'm not sure exactly what time that'll be.
Yeah, I have your phone number, Ms. Woodard. I can call you after we're done here and let you know where to go from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Enforce that curfew. Enforce the curfew.
All right, very good. Y'all, good luck to you all.
All right.
Positions 10 and 11, Harrell.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Burrell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Good afternoon, and yes, sir, I do.
Yes, thank you, sir. You have been charged in case 23 CR 007155A with harassing communications, and in case 23 CR 007162A with stalking and harassing communications. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 4 cycles. Last arrest was August of this year for driving while intoxicated out of Texas. A 2019 conviction for driving while intoxicated out of Texas, and then a 2011 conviction out of Arkansas for purchase, possession, intoxicated liquor by a minor. Level 1 recommendation is released on pretrial.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
Yeah, Sharon, in both of the cases, the defendant is accused of harassing the victim. In the first case, it's alleged that he called her over 50 times. In the second case, he also contacted her numerous times after she asked him to stop. The state is asking for a no contact with the victim, Ms. Jennifer Lowe, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and we are asking for In the first case, a $2,000 surety bond, and the second case, $1,000 surety bond on each count. No contact with Miss Jennifer Lowe, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and we assign for the victim, Miss Lowe.
If Ms. Lowe is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Bartels?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I have spoken with Mr. Harrell. He is employed full-time. I am advised that he moved to Atlanta for job reasons. He's employed by Sedgwick, handling insurance claims. He did advise me that the majority of the communication with the alleged victim, it's about getting property that he still has with her, some clothing items and computer equipment. But after consulting with me, we've agreed that that not having any contact with her is for the best. No further contact provision would certainly not be an issue. And he is not going to pursue any further getting back his property. He decided that after consulting with me. As I said, he is employed full time. He is, let's see, looking at my notes. Yeah, so we would ask, in terms of bond, Your Honor, we would ask for a $1,000 bond on each charge. And if he doesn't qualify for a signature bond, we would just ask for a $3,000 total good bond. It appears that the last contact that was alleged was several weeks ago. So he hasn't had any contact with her in some time. And given all that, that's what we would ask for in terms of bond.
Okay, let's see. For position 10, harassing communications, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1 day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Lowe, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. For position 11, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 for each charge, making for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with Ms. Lowe, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, sir.
All right. Have a good. Thank you. You want to have a good holiday.
You also, sir.
Our last case, Judge, is position 2, Mr. Banks.
Okay, and Mr. Banks is going to require a breakout room. So, Mr. Banks, if you will just hold tight for us for just a moment. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. You have been charged in case 23 CR 00741Y with 3 counts of theft by shoplifting. So we'll discuss Mr. Banks's case in a breakout room. Who all needs to be in the breakout room? Okay, Ms. Dunlap, Ms. Abden. Say it again, Ms. McLeod.
I had Miss Goodwin. I didn't hear her case called.
Oh, we still have some people at ACDC, Ms. McLeod.
Hi, Your Honor.
Hi, good afternoon, Officer Milton. So
we're ready whenever you are.
Okay, let me finish up this one that I have to have in the breakout room for courtroom 2, and then I'll come back and we'll complete everything that's in ACDC, okay? All right, so Ms. Abda, Ms. Dunlap, I guess Mr. Walker, if you and myself can be placed into a breakout room.
Oh, and can we also have SG Denise included, Your Honor, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Banks. We've had this opportunity to discuss your case. It's going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail on each charge, which makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. But you're gonna have to stay away from that Exxon gas station at Joseph E. Boone. That's on Joseph E. Boone, okay? All right. Good luck to you, sir. You also.
And Your Honor, before we start with ACDC, I just wanted to check in to see if I'm able to speak with Mr. Gaskin, position number 7. I was unable to interview him. He was supposed to be PAD, but that's no longer the case.
Okay, so Officer Milton, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have no, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I
I'm
think it might
here.
be courtroom 2. Are you getting Mr. Gaskin?
Yeah, they gotta go back to dinner.
Okay, just let us know. So yes, Miss Abden, we will let you speak with him before we have his hearing, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh, is position 17 in courtroom 2? Ron Malone.
Position 17 is released.
Thank
I
you.
can go ahead and do my announcements now, Judge.
Okay, why don't you do that? Thank you.
Position 25 also bonded out, and that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where are we gonna start, Officer Milton?
We're going to start with position 6, Ashley Davis.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Davis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes,
Thank you. Ms. Davis, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007149F with simple assault family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
3 cycles. Last arrest was October of this year for possession of meth out of North Carolina. There was no disposition listed. Level 2 recommendation. Nothing
Yes,
further.
Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 1274 Lockwood Drive, where they spoke to the victim, Mr. Darren Parker, who is the defendant's boyfriend. The victim advised that his girlfriend approached and confronted him about a domestic issue, at which time she became physical. She put out a firearm and punched him several times. Law enforcement was dispatched. She was determined to be the primary aggressor. The state is asking for a $10,000 surety bond. No further contact with Darren Parker. Stay away from the incident location. To surrender any and all firearms. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. Of course, it was signed for the victim, Mr. Darren Parker.
If Mr. Parker is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Ms. Abden?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 32 years old. She's from North Carolina. She was just here visiting for the weekend. The incident location is an Airbnb, where she was staying with her boyfriend, Darren, and also a friend named Kyler. They were here for a concert. They were planning to leave today. She has 4 minor children, Your Honor. They are 11, 8, 7, and 5. They're currently with her mom in North Carolina, who's was watching them for the weekend. So she does need to get back to her kids. She is gainfully employed. She is a performer currently in North Carolina, and she just graduated. She has her dental assistant degree. She was supposed to have a job interview today. Obviously, she missed that. She has another job interview on Thursday, so I'm asking Your Honor to take that into consideration, as well as her 4 minor children who do need her. She does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I did try to contact the complaining witness and was unable to. It sounds like it was a misunderstanding. They got into a verbal fight. Things calmed down, and based on the warrant affidavit, the neighbor who overheard was the one who called the police and made that report. And so Given all that, Your Honor, I am requesting that you consider the pretrial signature bond or a signature bond through the jail. she does not have the means to pay this bond, and she does want to get back home to get back to her kids. She stated that she would return to court for her next court date, understands her obligation, and she does qualify for the public defender services moving forward. She tells me that she believes that the complaining witness has no reason to fear her. They've never had any verbal or physical altercations in the past. She would agree to a no further contact if that was necessary, as well as a stay away, but it is an Airbnb.
Okay, and is this Mr. Parker? Who is Mr. Parker to Ms. Davis?
Her boyfriend.
Okay, and are any of the children, the minors, Mr. Parker's children?
No, Your Honor, and it's my understanding they don't reside together in North Carolina.
Okay, does she need to go back to that Airbnb to retrieve any belongings?
She believes her belongings are there. He was not arrested, so we're not sure if, he took them for her, but she does want to go back there one time with law enforcement to make sure all her stuff is, not there.
Okay, so it'll be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. At this point in time, no further contact with Mr. Darren Parker. She's to stay away from the Lockwood Drive address. She can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Ms. Davis, although I'm going to give you a signature bond through the jail to have you get back to your minor children, if you don't show up for your next court hearing, a warrant will be placed out for you, okay? All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, we have position 14, Victoria. Miss Victoria.
Yes, good afternoon. Pronounce your last name for me, ma'am. I'm sorry, can you come closer to that?
It's Jamison, J-A-M-A.
Okay, yes, good afternoon, Ms. Jamison. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 007151E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
No, first arrest, recommended UJR jail.
Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident stems from yesterday. It happened at 4743 Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. Officers responded to a dispute between roommates. The victim is a Janaea Holland. Ms. Holland stated that they were out drinking and came to this address, who's a friend's address. She fell asleep, called the defendant to get her. They began arguing over a vape pen. When Ms. Holland snatched the pen out of her hand, the defendant pushed her to the ground, repeatedly hit her in the face and neck. It looks like that the victim told our victim advocate that she got on top of her and started to try to strangle her. She was unable to breathe, scream, or talk, and that two people had to pull the defendant off of her. And she also had deep scratches and bruises all around her neck and her face. She did say that she's been violent with her in the past. And the defendant did threaten to beat her up again after this. The state is looking for a signature bond through the jail. It looks like stay away from the home address. They're supposed to be roommates. No further contact with the victim of Janaea Holland. 1 day anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
Is this Ms. Holland on the line under Janaea's iPhone?
Yes, Miss Janice.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to address the court?
I would just like to say that
Okay, hold on.
I believe
Hold on. Just raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes.
Okay, go ahead. What would you like to tell me?
I believe she's planning to go to North Carolina to be with her boyfriend. I would just like for her whereabouts to be known whenever she gets on bond because I would like to serve her. And also, I did not snatch it out of her hand. That's all.
All right, so are you all roommates?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't want any further contact with her, is that my understanding?
Correct, and a stay away ordinance, please.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to tell the court?
No.
All right, thank you for being here, ma'am.
Your
Mr. Dunlap, do you have something?
Yeah, I apologize. That was before the strangulation assessment. It's supposed to be a $10,000 surety bond. This case has been referred up to the DA's office as a felony. We're still waiting to hear back.
Okay, Mr. Bartels?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. As has been indicated, Ms. Jameson does not have any criminal history at all, so we would ask that she be allowed to sign her own bond on that basis. But I did hear Ms. Holland's position about a no further contact and that she was asking for a stay away order. The address where Ms. Jameson that is her residence. I'm advised that she's been living there. She also has a 1-year-old daughter that she lives there, or that lives with her there, that she's caring. And normally her boyfriend, he's in North Carolina for work, but the baby's father also lives there. So I understand the court's general position on a no further contact. Well, no further contact would not be an issue. And I understand that the alleged victim has asked for a stay away, but I also understand that Ms. Holland may be living elsewhere at some point. So if the court is going to have a no further contact order, we would just ask that Ms. Jameson will first be able to go back to this address at least once to get her property with law enforcement, and also that she be able to live there if Ms. Holland has found some other place to stay. That would be our main concern.
It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Holland. She's to stay away from the 4743. Well, she's to stay away from, I'm not sure what the resident address is, but whatever if you'll put that in the chat, Ms. Dunlap, to Ms. Bridgewater, she's to stay away from the residence that they share together. She can go back to that residence on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she might have in the residence. If Ms. Holland decides to leave the residence and is no longer living there, then of course Ms. Jameson can reside there. But given that there's to be no further contact between these two, they certainly can't be living under the same roof. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
That covers everything, Mr. Bartels?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Jameson. You also, Ms. Holland.
Thanks.
Next, we have position 15, Ms. Lindsay.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was the bond amount? Who was that?
That was position 14, Ms. Jameson. It's a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell me again who I have before me.
Position 15, Ms. Lindsay.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Lindsay. I'm Judge Eric Mara. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Lindsay, you've been charged in case 23 CR 007165J with battery and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
One cycle from 2012 for battery, family violence out of Cobb. That case was dismissed. Recommendation is UJR jail.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 3013 Parkland View, where they spoke to the victim, whose name is Twyler Crawford. She advised that the defendant had been harassing her. The defendant came to her home, rung the doorbell. The defendant thought it was her son at the door. When she opened it, however, it was the defendant. The defendant did push the door open and attacked her inside of the victim's home. The state is asking for a $2,500 surety to the battery, a $2,500 surety to the criminal trespass, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. Of course, we would sign for the victim, Ms. Crawford.
If Ms. Crawford is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, if you could raise your right hand for me, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
We already have a stay away order. There's already a TPO in place. I have been consistently harassed by this lady for the past year. Even as recently as September 27th, she rode past my house and threw clothes on the yard. Not only that, she sent a photo from her car to me saying that she threw clothes on the yard. She called my house. The TPO was issued October the 4th, where Miss Lindsay did admit that she came to my house on multiple occasions. She has continued to harass me, sending text messages by different text apps. And there is another court case that that is also pending for stalking. So I don't feel that that Miss Lindsay, she's been harassing me. So we already have the stay away order with that. So she cannot contact me. So she'll be in violation of the TPO, which is also another issue. So there's so many layers to this that I don't feel that she should have a signature bond, that she should be in jail for stalking me for over 1 year.
Do you have, thank you, Ms. Crawford. Do you have an open stalking case, Mr. Walker?
I'll have to check with the victim advocate. I believe we do, Your Honor.
Yes,
Okay.
there's one.
And is that in Fulton County also, Ms. Crawford, or somewhere else?
Yes, it's in Fulton.
Okay.
Okay, I'll reach out to the advocate. We don't have that information, but I have the advocate reach out to her.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Crawford. Yes, Mr. Bartels.
Yes, Your Honor. I have spoken with Ms. Lindsay. She does dispute the allegations in the warrant. She also indicates that she herself has been the target of harassment. However, she understands that this is not an evidentiary hearing or a hearing on the weight of the evidence. As has been indicated, she has no criminal history, essentially. There's the one previous arrest, which was dismissed. She was born and raised in Atlanta, so she has ties to the community. I'm advised that she lives with her 4 children as well as her 2-year-old grandson, whom she cares for. And she has other family in the area. So she has ties to the community. There would not be an issue with a no further contact or a stay away order. So we would not oppose that. And given all that, we would ask that she be allowed to sign her own bond with whatever other conditions the court believes would be appropriate.
Okay, were you able to find anything for me, Mr. Walker?
No, it's not coming up in Odyssey, so we'll have to talk to the victim some more.
Okay. As such, for the battery, it's a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. Level 1, the criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial. Level 1 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. 1-day anger awareness. No further contact with Ms. Crawford. Stay away from the Parkland View address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Ms. Lindsley, just let me make it clear what no contact means, just so that we all have an understanding. No contact means no contact whatsoever. Obviously, no personal contact or physical contact, no social media contact, no telephone contact, no internet contact, no contact whatsoever. If there is any contact, you'll be in violation of this bond order and it will be subject to being revoked, okay? All right, good luck to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have position 8, Ms. Goodwin.
Good afternoon, Ms. Goodwin. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Goodwin, you've been charged in case 23 CR 0071508 with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history?
3 cycles, last arrest 2018, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That was a NOLO plea, level 1 recommendation, nothing further.
Mr. Walker?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched in 1990 Allison Court, where they spoke to Ms. Tousdi Jones. She is the mother of the defendant. The defendant came to her home and picked up a brick plant pot and threw it through a front window. We are asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, no contact with the victim, Ms. Jones, to stay away from the incident location, and a 1-day anger awareness class, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
If Ms. Jones is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Ms. McLeod, if it's okay with you, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Ms. Jones, a stay away from the incident location, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Does that suit you?
That suits me, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Good luck to you, Ms. Goodwin.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Your Honor, for everything. Thank you,
All
everybody.
right.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. McLeod, have a good holiday.
And may I be excused too, Your Honor?
Yes, you also.
Wait, Ms. Milton, you don't have position 4, Carter?
Who?
Carter, position 4.
Oh, I forgot. She declined. She said she didn't want to come to court, Your Honor.
The medical reset?
MH.
Thank you.
So we're gonna reset it for tomorrow, 11:21. Okay, so if that's okay with you, Ms. Abden. All right, we'll see you next time, Officer Milton.
Bye.
All right, be safe. And who do we have in courtroom 2 now?
This is Gaskin.
And do you need to speak with him, Ms. Abden?
I spoke with him. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm ready.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Gaskin. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I agree.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 23 CR 007166J with loitering and prowling. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 27 cycles, 18 out of Texas, 9 out of Georgia. Last arrest January of this year for criminal trespass. That is an open case. 1 FTA from 2019. Appears to be on probation out of Clayton County for entering auto. There was from 2019, entering auto, 1 year confinement, 4 years probation. Criminal trespass conviction 2019. Theft by taking conviction 2019. Possession of marijuana conviction 2015 out of Texas. Theft convictions 2015 and 2018 out of Texas. A burglary of vehicle conviction 2015 out of Texas. Evading arrest 2016 out of Texas. Criminal trespass conviction 2016 and unauthorized absence from community 2017 conviction out of Texas. Level 3 recommendation.
Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you. No.
Whose case? I'm not sure whose case it is.
I'll take it. Law enforcement was dispatched to 740 Sidney Marcus Boulevard, which is the arrived Buckhead. Essentially, the defendant was outside in his underwear going through the residence packages. At that time, he was taken into custody and charged with loitering and prowling. State is asking for a signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the arrived Buckhead, which is 7040 Sidney Marcus Boulevard. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Any objection to any of that, Ms. Abden?
No objection. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the 7040 address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Gaskin.
Oh, say it again,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir.
All right, Judge, we're repeated here in courtroom 2.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You do the same.
Thank you.
Not gonna be here tomorrow, Judge?
No, I'm not here tomorrow. All right, Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready.
I'll be here tomorrow, everybody. Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is December the 5th. Okay, position number 1 is being reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 3 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB total through the jail. Position 4 is being reset till tomorrow. Position 5 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. Position 6, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. 7 is being reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 8, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 9, reset further notice with a total $1,500 SOB through the jail. Position 10 is being reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 12, reset further notice with a total $1,500 SOB through pretrial. 13, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 14, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 15, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 16, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 17, what are we doing with 17?
Bonded out, I think.
Malone, Ron Malone.
I think he bonded out.
Yeah, he was released. He bailed out.
Okay. Okay, got that. 18 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 19 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 20 is also going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 21, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 22, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 23, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 14, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 25 is being reset further notice as they were released. And 26 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
I just want to make sure that you got the 2 consent orders. I sent them as PDFs for Canty and Green.
Okay, I'll make sure I get them. Let me check right quick. Otherwise,
I'll
everybody.
wait. Take your time.
Okay, anybody else? Wow.
That's what I've got too.
Okay, well, if that's what you have, then I'll see you later. Miss
Okay.
Adam, I see where we need a conflict. Good afternoon, the Pat. Yes, I have them as Adam.
Thank you so much.
Okay, with that being said, take care of everybody, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay.